Now, this first video, I gotta admit, I'm not sure what to think about it. So, the original video creator claims that he caught his dog playing with a ghost dog on tape. But I don't know, I just feel like it's actually more of a ghost cat. But I'll play it for you.
All right.
So, you can see in the top right corner, there's a white figure that looks like
Yeah,
a dog, looks like a cat.
that
It
thing that like ran in front of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And now it's running behind it, almost side by side with it. But the thing is, I I actually think this might be a real cat or a real dog,
I
and
think it's
that
just a white dog, honestly.
yeah, yeah. I haven't
Like
been
what is their reasoning behind thinking that's a ghost? That looks like another dog to me. I don't know.
yeah. They claimed that their backyard was securely tightened, that there was no way this dog or cat can get into their backyard. Now, as someone who has owned big dogs, small dogs, cats, I think it's all bullshit. My dog has managed to get out of our secure fence multiple times, and each time we've been trying to figure out how did our dog get out of our backyard? We have like the fence fully secured underneath. There's no dirt, there's no way this dog could have escaped, and then find
Yeah.
out that it's actually somehow found like a hole in the fence that's managed to get through, or maybe it jumped over the fence, like it just learned to jump really high each time. But this footage, I just feel that it's not that genuine. Like if I go back to the part where is it?
But it's not like it's even see-through or anything, like, right?
Yeah, like here on the left is the black dog, and here on the right, I still feel like it's just a white dog or it's a white cat. It's not
Yeah.
see through, as you said. It's a bit too crystal clear compared to other CCTV footage I've seen, where if it was a ghost, I'm not saying it has to be see through, but usually it'll disappear in and out of frame.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, I don't think it's a ghost. I think it's just another dog, honestly.
yeah,
Because like you said, they can jump. I've seen dogs jump pretty high, like even over like super tall fences.
yeah. Yeah, I just don't think this is real. I think this is just a regular dog that just happened to be chasing this black dog in the backyard. They're just two dogs having fun. So, yeah, I'm gonna say
Yeah,
not real.
yeah, I'm thinking the same. I think it's just another dog, honestly.
This video was captured on a nanny cam. This one, I gotta admit, I'm not sure what to think about this one. So the parents had this nanny camera because they noticed that their child had some bite marks, they had scratches, and they wanted to know whether it was like, hey, like, did the parents trust each other? Could it be maybe they were trying to catch the other one out who may have been potentially abusing this child? Or is it something else in the house? So I'm just going to play this footage that was taken in their child's cot. If you look to the bottom left of the screen, you can see that there's a figure that walks past and that there's this face at the bottom left that just kind of fades away. You can see what looks like two eyes, a nose.
Yeah, I
I'm
see
not
that.
I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. I
It definitely looks like a face. Looks like a face that's like smiling without teeth or something.
Yeah, yeah. I The only thing that gets me is that this face just seems to appear as soon as the first figure walks past. So if I just replay it again, like the figure walks past, which looks like curtains, and then
Oh
this thing
yeah,
just fades in. So, and
that's
then,
weird. That looks like it could be like a little girl as well, just standing there because they look really short.
yeah, like I'm not sure what to think about this. I,
Hmm.
from a technological point of view, I for some reason I just think the first figure could be someone dressed up in curtains. Like it looks like the same, like ruffles, the same curvature, and they've just walked past, and then they've superimposed whatever the hell that weird face is on the bottom left. but I feel like it's too much effort to go to. And likewise, the baby,
So they've
I
just
mean,
like faked the whole thing basically.
somewhat except for the child. You can see that the child moves when the face appears. And I mean, there are numerous YouTube videos where families will instruct their kids to be like, "Oh, quick, say you saw a ghost," and the kids will be like, "Mom, I saw a ghost," and it's like, "Yeah, we know that's fake," but you can't do that with a baby. With this next video, I this is quite a popular video. I think most people our age would have seen, but it's around this person who was just walking with his dog through the woods in Russia, and he encounters a girl who appears to be flying. So,
Like
but
Superman or something.
like just like flying in the air. She's in the one spot, but you can see her legs and arms dangle. Uh, what this edited video is that same footage but stabilized and enhanced, so that as opposed to the camera shaking full on, like say Blair Witch Project, you can actually see how the girl is flying. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna
I don't think I've
skip
actually
to
seen this one.
ah
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, this was one of the first videos I watched where I was always trying to work out how could they have done this, because what's interesting about this is it seems like he's genuinely just recording his dog and his travel through the woods. But if
Yeah.
you see here, it looks like this girl in the red jacket is just flying, like
Ooh.
levitating.
Wow. What the hell?
And yet just and then like they get caught, so the mum runs off with this girl. I do have many
It's Vecna.
questions. Like quick, put on Kate Bush. But
Yeah.
like the questions I have around this video are like, surely this mum and daughter would have heard the dog and the whoever's behind the camera way before being caught, because it's not like as if the dog is silent, it's running around everywhere. And likewise, I wonder why they picked this specific area if they're gonna like attempt flying.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's like that's the mom, right? Is that her mom?
yep. Uh
Yeah. It's like she's not even like phased by it. Like they're just like testing her superpowers or something.
yeah, yeah. There's I just and like the thing is, I've analyzed this video quite a few times. I thought maybe this girl, because she's wearing the red coat, it could easily hide a like a crane, not a crane, a something like a suspender that's holding her up in the air, and maybe we just don't see it, but we get quite a good wide shot. There's nothing in the background here, it's just trees on the right here. Yes, they could potentially suspend her from maybe a really large branch, but
Hmm.
there'd have to be some type of pulley mechanism to, like a rope to like hold her up, let her go. The mum and the daughter run away pretty quickly at the end. Like they couldn't unhook anything. We would have seen something at least, but yeah, this is one of those mystery videos which I feel like was circulated way back in 2009, and we just have never gotten an answer to.
It's so weird that I've never seen that.
This video, I don't know how to go about this video, because this is the first TikTok I've seen of something paranormal. But I got my 19-year-old brother to watch this with me so we could try and figure it out. But I'll just play it for you. So, can you spot what's weird in the background?
Oh my God. There's someone. Wait, whoa. Ew.
Like,
That is creepy.
I have so many questions. One, why was the subway employee being recorded? Two, what is that in the bin? It looks like something from The Grudge, but also, why would anyone be hiding in the bin?
That actually, I don't know. It doesn't look human. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Whatever it is, it looks like. something that's been dead for a long time.
I went through initially and like I took a screenshot of the eyes in particular, and like I thought, oh, could it have been a really weird looking possum or some kind of creature that, is notorious for loving trash or whatnot, but nothing came up. I then thought, is it a ploy by this specific Subway store to bring in customers? It might go around a buy swap sell page on Facebook and people are like, oh my God, we're going to come into Subway and check it out. So is it a marketing ploy to get more customers? But at the same time, when I used to work at KFC like several decades ago, I remember these bins and they were an absolute nightmare because, first of all, the bins themselves are quite thin, like very thin plastic, and
Uh-huh.
there was not a lot of space. So we would have to change these bins like a minimum once every 2 hours, maybe once every half an hour on a very busy day. And there is no space in those bins. So for me, I don't think anything larger than, say, a like preteen could fit into this thing. Like anyone that's like 13 years old and above, good luck. You are not going to fit into this thing. And also, what is the purpose of this being, this figure or whatever? Why are they in the subway bin? It feels a bit
Right, right.
odd.
Hmm,
But
interesting. And
like,
also, like you said, why were they recording in the first place?
yeah, like it starts off with someone just like statically recording and then their friend appears around the corner and it's just like, I don't know, it feels a bit staged at the same
Yeah, it
time.
does.
I just, why? And also, I'm not saying I would have noticed this if I was there as well, but I don't know. I feel like I would have picked up that there's eyes like looking directly at me, especially if I'm recording someone in that same direction.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that face looks so familiar though. It looks like something from a horror movie, and I just can't place it.
It reminds me of Nosferatu, this vampire. It's a really, really old. I actually think it's 100 years old now, but he appears in a SpongeBob episodes where they're
That's
like,
actually, yeah, I got
yeah,
that. That's the only reason I knew what you were talking about.
when Squidward's like, wait, if that was you on the phone and you across the street, then who was flickering the lights? And then it's just that vampire with the light switch, and it's like, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
such a weird reference for a kid's show.
No other security footage has been released. Maybe, I mean, probably calling out my own workplace for this one, but when I worked at KFC back in 2009, we had no security cameras ever. So,
Whoa,
like,
really?
yeah, no security cameras. And there were a few times where I, a bit too overconfident as a 17-year-old, but I remember this customer went off at me one day, so I told them to go fuck themselves, and I did this.
Yeah.
And then I remember freezing, thinking, fuck, we have security cameras, I'm gonna get fired. And then my manager pulled me aside and goes, you are so lucky we don't have security cameras, Justin. And I was like, oh, wait, why
Wow.
don't we have security cameras? What if something happens? And she's like,
Yeah.
shh, don't worry about it. And I was like,
Oh, wow. So it was just that one KFC.
yeah, every other,
Oh.
like I worked at the KFC in Parramatta when I moved down to Sydney from Coffs Harbour, and there were security cameras everywhere. I swear at one point there were even in like the little space where the doors to the bathroom were, and it's like
Wow.
surely we don't need a security camera for that area, but
No.
okay, Parramatta. This is another old YouTube video. It was actually first uploaded in 2007, even though this was recorded in 2006. In this video, two people, not sure what country this is from either. I, for some reason, remember thinking it might have been Romania, but they encounter what they think is a fallen angel in this area. I'm not sure if it's where these people live or if they're visiting, backpacking. No other details have been given, but keep an eye for where the torch light follows. You'll see just this weird ass looking creature.
Oh, that thing.
I think it might be. I think it's either that or it might be after. It cuts in and out at different points.
This feels like Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah, I think it's in that bottom left there, like this gangly looking creature.
Oh wait, is that it? What the hell?
Whoa! So I'm just gonna play it in 0.25. It's got glowing eyes. It looks actually, funnily enough, like Vecna.
That's a demon.
Like, that is some scary shit. Especially when it turns around. I don't know why they call it Fallen Angel, but I'm just saying.
That doesn't even look like an angel. That looks like a demon.
I was trying to debunk this one as to whether maybe it would have been just like maybe a very, very skinny person, maybe wearing prosthetics or wearing some kind of costume, but it's the glowing eyes that get me with this one, because this type of footage, which is de-interlaced, it's interlaced, like it's even interlaced around the eyes. So if it was going to be fake, like whether they added it afterwards in any video editing software, those wouldn't be interlaced as much. So, and like, given that says that it was recorded in 2006, I remember watching this in 2007 and being like, what the fuck? But I've never been able to figure out the original source for this video, if there were any follow-ups, you know, what happened after this, because as soon as this footage happens, they just run around, but there's no other explanation for what this could be.
No way, that is really creepy. When I saw the title was Fallen Angel, I thought of that Simpsons episode where they found like a... That's why I thought that thing at the start. Yeah, that's why I thought that thing at the start was like the angel, was like a skeleton of an angel or something like that.
I'm just saying, I love that episode of The Simpsons. I think it's such a smart like takedown on like religious beliefs versus personal beliefs, and how you know everyone always tries to one up each other. But yeah, Fallen Angel seems like the wrong title for this. I would have called this like scary praying mantis Vecna looking bitch, but I don't know how to debunk this one. So with this first video, I always love these types of videos because I always try to figure out if it's fake or if it's real. You know, there's plenty of influencers on Instagram trying to, you know, sell tummy teas or trying to sell their bullshit products. This one, I don't know if she's trying to sell White Claw, this alcoholic drink down the bottom, but it's what she captures on the curtain behind her that is a bit, what the hell? So let's press play.
So for today's drink,
so as you can see, she's trying to promote something, but there's something in the curtain behind her. She rushes over, there's nothing there. So like, what the hell? If there was something behind it, you'd think that they would have seen it. So I'll just go back and I'm gonna play it in half speed. So here she is, very pretty, trying to sell alcohol, I guess. And the curtain behind her just looks like there's something behind it. Like, it looks like there's an arm that's going down.
Yo, I just got shivers.
Like, if I go back, I'm gonna play it in quarter speed.
It looks like it pokes it. Like, pokes it first and then just like brushes it down.
And like, I thought initially when I was watching this, I thought, oh, surely it's the wind because it's outdoors. There's a curtain right in the middle. But why would the wind have such a arm placement, like an arm shape?
Yeah.
So I'll just play it again at quarter speed. You can see that it goes a little bit down. It looks like there's arms that strokes it all the way down. She rushes over, and yet in that time, you know, it could have run to the left, but
That's the only explanation, unless she now steps back and that's a wall.
Yeah, I have a feeling there is a wall there.
It looks like it could be a wall there.
Like,
I will admit, I have seen this video before.
Yeah.
And it does give me the creeps every time. Because, like you said, that's not wind. Wind doesn't do that.
Yeah.
The only other explanation I can have is that like a little bird flew in there at the start, but still that doesn't explain how it like moved it sideways like that.
Yeah. I even thought, could it be possibly that maybe someone's on the roof and they've got like a like a plastic arm or a rake, I don't know, something that maybe they're just like pushing down, but then it doesn't explain like how it just disappears, because even if they timed it perfectly, you would have seen a shadow, you would have seen maybe some kind of user error. And at the start here, I can tell just by her facial expression that this isn't faked. Like, I can feel like her reaction's genuine. I mean, she's trying to figure out what she's doing with this white claw. Shout out to Riverdale, who called it maple claw. And yet she notices it straight away, whereas I feel like if it was a fake reaction, she might be like or trying to be more of a
like and she runs at it. Like, I feel like she was ready to fight. She had a swing, like she was ready to fight that. So I think it's a genuine reaction. I think this is real.
In this next video, also, this hasn't been able to be found from the original source. It always appears on like top 20 Watch Mojo compilations, or, you know, a YouTuber like myself, like top 5 scary videos, etc., of like ghosts caught in the woods. But from what I can tell, it looks like this was filmed in America or possibly Canada. This person claims that he carried. Let me rewind. This person claims that he captured what looks like a creature figure, but it looks like a human creature hybrid, possibly a spirit, just walking through the woods. He claims that he was the only person walking through these woods, and he noticed some very strange sightings, so he took out his phone camera, but he's never been able to explain what he found. So I'll just play this clip. So it's snowing, he's got a lot of outdoor shots, just like going through the woods. And then in the next shot, you can see this creature figure just walking past. So just around here. Like, to me, it looks like a person. I don't necessarily get like creature from it. I feel like maybe
that's just a dude in hunting gear. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But then, like, the weird thing is he just disappears. Like, oh, there he is. It's like he disappears for bits at a time, and then he comes back, and it's like, are they trying to say this is Bigfoot? Are they trying to say this is like a random ass creature?
Kind of shorter than I expected for a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Guys on Tinder when they're like, yes, I'm 6 foot.
Yes.
Oh, it's so weird to me. When I saw this video, I was like, am I supposed to be looking for a ghost? Am I supposed to be looking for something that's gonna like jump out at me, or like, is it gonna sprout wings or something a bit more, you know, over the top? But I just think this is a setup video.
I think that there's too many different shots, and like, you know, the setup seemed a bit, I don't know, storyboarded, if that makes sense.
Say I was in this person's position and someone's walking across back and forth very close to me. I would not be standing there being like, hey, going back and forth.
Oh my gosh, it's Bigfoot.
I'd be like, I'm getting the fuck out of there. I don't care.
Especially if that person's just pacing in the woods. That's like horror movie 101. Let's not stick around and film the creepy murder man.
I swear some of these videos, I'm just like, are they asking to be killed? Like, sure. It's just a bit weird to
crazy.
me. Oh yeah, so apparently it is supposed to be Bigfoot. I'm sorry, that is
so
not
wait,
Bigfoot.
I'm sorry. So you're telling me they have a souvenir shop at the end of this experience?
Mm-hmm.
So the owner is out there.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, cool. All right, cool. I understand now.
Such a marketing ploy. Like, I'm sorry, even if they're trying to say this footage is proof of Bigfoot, like, come on, at least be a bit more genuine with it. Like,
yeah. That's
business.
Amazing. Oh, that just made it so much better. Didn't get your photo out in the field? Come, we've got a cutout. Oh my gosh.
It's like they post on like LinkedIn or like seek.com. They're like, need someone to dress in weird outfit for up to 3 hours in the woods. You will be featured on like 50,000 YouTube videos. Come for the exposure.
We pay in exposure and experience.
With this next video, this claims to be proof of somewhat poltergeist activity / ghost activity. So with the cat down here, it's clearly looking at something, but it's what's happening over here that's really interesting. So I'll just play it. So you can see, oh, actually,
straight away.
I didn't expect it to happen so quick. So in the bottom right, you can see what looks like a person walking, or like, I don't know. It looks like one of those animation models.
There it is. This is real. I got my shivers.
Like, I'm not sure what it could be.
It's a child.
Like, I'm trying to figure out if it walks into the cupboard here or if it walks down the steps.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's walking up the steps.
It comes back up the steps. So it comes here, turns into its little orb. And then goes down the steps and then comes back up the steps.
I find it so freaky, especially because I remember actually doing this video course as part of my uni training. So we were looking at things like how to use depth of field when it comes to DSLR cameras, how to get wide exposure shots. And it was so funny. I actually remember, I hate when YouTube videos do this shit. But I remember my camera teacher, he was also a ghost hunter. And he said, look, I'm going to show you something right now. This is how I debunk 95% of all alleged footage of orbs on camera. And he plucked out an eyelash, he put it on the lens of the camera, and he blew the focus out so that it was focusing on the background. And because the lash was in front of the camera, it was blurred out to oblivion. And it looks exactly like almost every single orb that I see on camera. Likewise, he got a bit of dust. He just sprinkled it in front of the camera, and it looks like all the orbs that people would claim they see on camera.
Yeah.
But likewise, he said, look, I've captured some pretty serious shit. Like, him and I actually went to the quarantine station. So this happened in the shower block at the quarantine station in Sydney. So it was me, a few uni friends. We went with our film lecturer. And we took photos of everything. We had camcorders. We had a DSLR camera. One person was using their iPhone at one point. None of us really got crazy photos, per se. But I took this photo and I was like, what is this here? It looks like a letter G. It's probably Gaga calling out their new single.
Yeah.
But I was like, what do these dots mean? Because it looks like there's a bunch of clusters of dots. Some are brighter than others. And I got my film lecturer to look at it. I was like, can you debunk this? Like, can you tell me if it's like something to do with camera lens? Is it because of the positioning from maybe the doorway? And he said he could never explain it. He's never captured something like that on camera. He didn't say specifically that it could be orbs, but I was like, I didn't necessarily feel unsettled in the shower area, but we took some other photos where I was like, I don't know what it could be. Like, if I go through this album, also this is from like 9 years ago. Like, I remember zooming in on this thing and I was like, hey, can you see what this is?
There's a face there. I see a face there anyway. I don't know if I'm tripping.
Like, I could see 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. My film lecturer disagrees. He said that it could have just been like a fingerprint on the lens of the camera, but it doesn't have the same fingerprint on the other sides. So I don't know what it is. That's me. This is the friend group we went with, and this was at the stage where we went to the gravedigger's cottage and just like couldn't, like, there's, I actually have a video which I'll bring up as well, but there's me again. I don't know why the cam wow coloring, but
that's what, 2013? Yeah, that's
it was in style.
That was fine. That's fine.
Likewise with this hospital bed area, so we had someone with a torch. We thought maybe the torch was reflecting off of the wall in the shower block. That's where those clusters of bulbs were.
Yeah.
But he was outside the entire time, so we ruled that out. Here in this area, it was a hospital board. I had a really strange feeling, but we never actually captured anything. Like, we had like multiple cameras going. People were taking photos every like 2 seconds, but like now this is where it gets freaky. So this is a chair in the Gravedigger's Inn or the Gravedigger's Cottage. It was a completely isolated area from the rest of the quarantine station. When we went in there, straight away we all felt so uncomfortable. And the quarantine station tours, they have tricks where they purposely dress up actors in like 1800s clothing to jump out of bushes to scare you. It's like part of the experience. And there was one part where we went into the bedroom of this gravedigger's cottage and the cupboard doors flung open. And we thought, what did we just experience? Oh my God, none of us recorded it on video. We thought, oh my God, this is so real. And then the next group went in, the same thing happened to them. And we're like, it's a trick, you know.
Yeah, triggered every time.
Like, you must step on a floorboard or something and it causes the cupboards to fly open.
Yeah.
Like, whatever technology they had, it was great because we inspected the whole cupboard. We couldn't find pulleys, strings, magnets, nothing like that. So,
well, you never know. It could have just been the same spirit as well, playing the same trick. He's like, look at this. These guys laughed. These screamed. The next guys will do a bigger one, I bet.
But
you gotta remember, they're bored. They're just trying to trick people anyway.
Yeah. Like, so this is one of my old friends, Belle. She sat down on this chair, and this was in the lounge room of the Gravediggers Inn. And straight away, she was like, I do not like sitting here. I need to get up. And I was like, let me take a photo first. So that's how I got this shot. And then I sat down on it, and I could feel something ice cold on the back of my neck. I'm not going to lie. It actually felt really good because I was a very sweaty mess. But I was like, there's something behind me. And I told my friend to video it. And, like, didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. But I'm going to bring up the video because there's a really weird ass sound. So this is the video. Let me expand it. I'll play it from the start.
What?
There's something calling in my feet.
Nobody would. Yeah.
Did you hear that sound? The weird like.
Yeah. What was that?
Don't know. That was not there when we were in that room at the time. We only heard this when we played back the recording. So, I'll play it one more time.
What?
There's something calling in my feet.
Nobody would.
Yeah. Is there anything on camera?
Especially with the little ones.
No.
And like the weird thing too is at the same time I could feel something like pressing on my feet. Like it didn't want me to get up out of the chair.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything. I didn't like hear that noise at the time. And we asked every other person, including my lecturer, being like, but did you guys hear anything? Did you see anything? And they're like, we never heard anything because we were trying to listen to the tour guide and you guys kept being like, ooh, there's something on my feet. And I was like, listen to this. And my film lecturer was like, oh, you've done a good job of adding that sound in like Premiere Pro or whatever. I was like, dude, this is unedited footage. I never did that. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, sure you didn't. And I was like, dude, I've never done that. So then I asked my film lecturer, is there a way that could have been a camera sound? Like, maybe my friend who was recording. Yeah, like turning the lens to like a different zoom, or maybe it was an internal button that could have been picked up. And he looked at me like as if I was crazy. He's like, it wouldn't make that loud a sound, Justin. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm a second-year student. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to like debunk it without putting on Facebook like, oh my god, real proof of ghosts. Just in case I get embarrassed and someone's like, actually, that's the sound of the recording mechanism. Like, here's the proper sound, but we haven't been able to debunk it. I feel like I really want to go back to the quarantine station and do another tour just to see if I experience the same things. But there was some weird ass shit. Another friend claimed that he got smacked on the leg when we were in this dining hall area. But thing is, like, I'm not calling out this friend per se, but it felt like he was just saying it to try and fit in, as like, to like join in. Yeah. And it's like, and I asked him on the way home in the car, I was like, oh, did that really happen to you in the dining hall? And he goes, no. And I was like, oh, okay then. And then when I put this video up on Facebook, he was like, oh, why didn't you talk about how I got smacked on the leg? And I was like, because you told me it didn't happen. Yeah. He's like, no, it did happen, Justin. I was just like being sarcastic in my response to you in the car. And I was like, were you really though? Were you? This is actually one of the rare alleged proof videos of a haunting in Australia. There's actually not that many. Most of the Australian videos I tend to find were either clearly very bad attempts at trying to be fake proofs or whatnot. Others, it's mostly UFOs, or it's mostly just strange footage, which I feel resembles a uni project more than an actual surveillance camera. But
yeah, absolutely.
With this one, it was actually caught at an IGA in Adelaide about 8-9 years ago. And
oh, wow, okay.
What the owner of the store discovered through his security camera was that there was a box of roll-ups or muesli bars or something that was being thrown around the store late at night when no one's in the store. So I'll just play the security footage. So yeah, if you look towards the middle, you'll see that something flies in the middle where that red circle is. It almost looks like it just appears, but then there is another angle where it looks like it just slides from underneath the shelf.
It does. It just comes piling out. You can see there's no one on the floor there or anything.
It doesn't seem to be anyone
sliding it under
right either.
Yeah, and that looks like it just appears, but then the other one it does, it just sort of skips out from underneath the shelf.
There is another angle too, which I didn't actually catch on till we just watched it then. It's from the back, and it looks like it just flies straight ahead.
Yeah, it's similar to that second angle where it sort of skips out from underneath.
There are ways to debunk this one in terms of there's so many places out of view, it could have been someone was way at the back. Yeah.
It could be a rat underneath the shelf getting pissed off that he can't open it and just tossing it.
You know what? This is why I don't go to IGA anymore.
One of the million reasons, yeah. I believe I've seen this one.
Yeah, so this is the infamous Dobby ghost, which I mean, this has been this has been attempted to be debunked before by a news station that was in this area. They actually got the kid to put on the same pajamas. I don't know why they did this. They got him to put underwear in his head because that's what they thought this ghost was. Yeah, but the kid looks somewhat similar to it, but he still doesn't look like this ghost here or whatever it is. It just looks a bit too thin to be the kid. Like, especially the legs, the arms. It's doing a chicken dance of some kind.
It's almost comical. I haven't heard anything about this kid or the other side of it. I've seen this video a million times, and I sort of giggle every time I see it. It's just like it. I don't know. It seems like a prank to me. It's hilarious, especially that end bit where he does that little dance walk thing. Like either that ghost is having a really good time or someone's just trying to play with us.
This is a barbershop
Yep.
somewhere in America, and I feel like this is genuinely real, but I don't know how to debunk this one. So they're just going about their business, and then you'll see that the blue tarp starts to, it looks like it inflates.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's starting to lift. They haven't recognized it yet, except the guy that's at the reception desk, he notices it and he freaks out. And then
there was something that moved just underneath the chair, just before he walks in front of the camera. There was something that looked like behind the chair underneath it. There was a bit of movement.
Yeah.
Just before the guy in the blue walks in front of the camera.
Hey, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was
that's a shadow,
the reflection.
Sure. It might be if that's like chrome or metal, it might be. But I think it is a reflection.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be like chrome, metallic, and it's just reflecting him walking by. And then the doll's head, you say?
Yeah, I think it's straight afterwards. It just starts to turn very slowly. I
can't stand dolls.
Oh, me either. My great-grandmother had an entire room dedicated to a porcelain doll collection. And I hated it.
Oh, that gave me a bit of a shiver.
With this next video, I had so much trouble trying to find this. This was hugely popular on YouTube back in 2007, 2010.
That's old.
It doesn't seem to be available anywhere. This is actually a bit of a compilation of 3 separate videos. So I don't know if you've heard of the pantry ghost.
No, I have not.
So this person filmed, had other occurrences in his house where he would hear noise or have poltergeist activity, and he would try and film her, but it was never on camera, except for his kitchen. He had this pantry which he opens the door, you can see there's nothing inside it, but this weird, I don't know if it's a human or if it's an alien or some kind, but she presses her hands against the glass door whenever he
So that's glass.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I'll just play it for you. And also the door just swings open by itself.
So behind that door is meant to be a pantry.
Yeah. Like you can see the shelves, you can see that there's items and stuff in there. And then when he closes it, this woman appears almost instantly.
Oh no.
And I remember seeing this back in, I think I first saw this video in 2010, and I didn't know what to think of it.
Is there sides in that pantry or are the shelves right on the door?
No, it seems like there's shelves behind the door. There's nothing against the glass.
Space.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. Like, is it? Yeah, no, there's no space to the side, nothing.
And I mean, I've attempted to debunk this one many times, thinking, are there any obvious cuts where it cuts from the pantry to maybe, they pause it or something and then they stick the girl in there, but it's all handheld, so that is very hard to try and keep consistent. Yeah. And
especially in 2007.
Oh yeah, like that type of technology didn't really exist. I mean, now there's I said this in another episode last week, I think, that there's numerous videos now where it's like the 5-minute crafts where it's like, oh, put 2 eggs in a glass of water, put it in the microwave. Suddenly you have an entire loaf of bread. And it's like, well, we know that the obvious trick is they put the glass of water with the eggs in the microwave, shut the door, and then stopped filming, took the glass of water out, put in a loaf of bread, and they're like, ta-da. But this kind of stuff, I don't know.
Not handheld, constantly moving like that. It's impossible to sync up. It's impossible to time. And it doesn't look like there's any bloody space in there. That's slightly terrifying.
And even with this next one, it's the same pantry ghost, but he brought a friend over because I think at one stage he had about 12 different videos. I can only find this one that has these 2 separate clips, but it was different ones where first it was the face would appear in the glass, the second video was the face and the hands, and then it kept escalating. I think this was the 7th one in the series, but his friend checks the pantry, checks everything, and the ghost still appears.
This is why I hate glass doors.
Same. It's
30 minutes later.
Soon see if she actually appears or not.
So this camera looks mounted this time.
So potentially there could be some editing tips and tricks, because with a mounted camera, it's night vision, there'd be some issues around it, but you can see the hands up here. He goes up to try and make contact, I guess, but the pantry ghost just pulls back. I mean, if it was me, I would just try and open the door straight away. I'd be like, bitch, get the fuck out of my house. You don't even pay rent.
Yeah. The pantry's empty now.
What if he moved all the stuff out of the pantry because he was terrified of...
I mean, I probably would. Like he gets to live on the kitchen counter if that's happening.
It's like 1 a.m. He has the munchies or something. He opens the door and he's like, "Oh fuck! I forgot you live here."
I don't like that one.
Thought it was interesting that they take it off the mounted tripod or kitchen bench or whatever they have on it, and even then you can see that there's no space. There's nothing here. I haven't been able to find anything online about what happened to this person. It seems like he actually deleted his YouTube account. But yeah, that's actually been the case for a lot of these videos.
I wonder why. I wonder if it's being called out or what.
Like even if they got debunked, I feel like they would still get, millions and millions of views, so they'd still make a decent amount of money for like YouTube revenue or whatnot, but still nothing.
Yeah, that's strange.
This is from Storyful. They're a company that generates a lot of content sent in by viewers. They analyze it themselves to try and debunk it themselves. This was captured during a lightning storm in Western Australia back in 2018. If you keep your eye probably between the middle and the bottom of the video in the left, you'll see that there's a strange green light that just appears out of... Whoops. It just appears out of nowhere. It looks like a hologram. And I don't know how to explain this one. I thought initially it was a laser light show, but it just appears out of nowhere. Doesn't...
It almost looks like it's catching light on the bottom of a cloud or something.
Yeah. I thought it was possibly even, I don't know, some kind of really hyperactive drone show, or maybe there was a thick material in the air, like a blanket or something that this was projecting onto, but
it's weird that it's just in a line.
Yeah, and the lightning in the background just illuminates everything else that you can't see.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing else. That's a strange one, because you can sort of see that where it came from.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's shining down instead of up. It's like the light source is from above.
Some people have attempted to explain that this is proof of UFOs. They've tried to say that this is like Australia's first capture proof of like aliens, unidentified flying objects, but
I'll never dispute the existence of aliens. It's just statistically impossible that they're not out there, in my opinion. But obviously you get some fake videos, but there's a lot out there that I think aren't. I've seen lights myself in the sky. Didn't look like this, but definitely seen things. And it's impossible not to believe.
So with this first video, this was actually captured on tape at an Egyptian pharmacy. Now, I was thinking back to, whether I'd seen any other security footage or any proof of paranormal in Egypt, but I always tend to find that it's more to do with sarcophaguses and anything that's found within pyramids, whereas this is actual, alleged proof of the paranormal. So I'll just play this video for you. Seems to be a little bit of poltergeist activity. If you keep your eye on the chair, you'll see that it starts to move. You
can see those screens flicking on as well too.
Yeah. It says, now according to the security camera footage, it says it was captured in 2014, but I feel like this is somewhat fake in terms of alleged proof of paranormal. I just feel like there's so many ways this could have been done. I also think that there's a lot of Adobe effects at play here. Certain things, you're a Twitch streamer yourself, so there's a lot of plugins where it's like earthquake and it makes a screen shake left to right. I can almost see the same patterns.
Filters and stuff like that. But even looking at the chair more so, how it tends to even looking at those droplets on the floor now, that looks like stuff that's been superimposed on the ground. But as I was going back to before, looking at the chair, looking at it rise up, it seems to, in terms of from an animation standpoint, you have frame to frame animation editing. So it looks like there's no settle down. It's very straight and definite. And it's bang to bang. There's no gentle pushing or anything like that. If this was a poltergeist, they're very quick in their range with the things that they do.
In this next video, this was taken over 2018 in Thailand. So the collection of clips here are from social media users who have encountered something strange on a highway. So I'll just play the video for you. Some have referred to this as the apparition that haunts Thailand. No further information on whether this is a reoccurring item or if it's just a one-time thing. But I don't know. My first thought is that the actual ghost here kind of resembles Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie. I just don't know what the hell.
I love that. I'd say it looks to me as someone wearing blue shorts, carrying a shopping bag, and I don't know, wearing a white singlet, because I can make out that apparition, and it's for it to fade out to nowhere, and you obviously see the bonnet of the car keep going forward, and it's still, the thing is still there. I don't know, this one seems good.
Yeah, and I don't know if this could have been
Gruntilda. I can't believe that.
I can just imagine her face appearing at the bottom being like, and the text is like, please don't hit me with the car, you little bitch. But I even trying to think of ways this could have been superimposed in. She's in the exact same spot the entire time. We get the front view of the car, and then she just, I can't tell if it looks like this thing gets run over or if she just disappears, but it's still somewhat strange to me. I might just play it in 0.25.
Yeah.
It doesn't really move. It moves within the frame and then it just fucks off. So
it does. It fades out. So it's interesting though. But looking at this from another technical standpoint, it goes back to saying, oh, it looks like it's poor film quality, because it is, but they're also filming the footage of this on I don't know if you can see, but it looks like they're filming the screen that it's been captured on, which would reduce the quality of that even more. So it makes me think if this is not real, they've done a very good job to mask it, because it's reducing the quality each time that they're filming it through a screen. They may have lowered the quality of that. But I don't know. I've heard about things like this happening before, where I've seen cars. I've seen videos before of cars turning into fences and then like somehow they magically made it through the fence. This is the kind of stuff that just creeps me out. Like when you're on a highway at night and just see something there. Like I know I've had it happen with kangaroos in the middle of the road and I crap myself, but to see something like a person just standing there staring at you, I would have like slammed the brake. That's another thing to think about. Yeah, I would have slammed the brakes on. Why are these people just driving straight ahead instead of slamming their brakes on?
Yeah, it doesn't look like the car slows down at all,
no.
Even though they see whatever this thing is come from a distance. In this video, this guy captures a poltergeist in his bathroom. Now, I'm not sure exactly why he has a camera in his bathroom at this angle, but I'm assuming he's had some experiences before. Maybe he just enjoys filming himself brushing his teeth, but I'll play the video for you. It does go on for a little bit.
Yeah.
So he leaves the room and you'll see that things start to happen with the door of this cabinet. And then inside things start shaking. Although I'll admit, I was looking for a jump scare when the mirror opened. I thought, oh, there's going to be someone
that's
like
going to be a
screamer
behind. Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you can see that whatever that bottle of shit is starts to shake and fall down. And then it captures the guy's attention, so he comes back in. But I just don't know if I believe this video enough.
I straight out am going to say that this is fake. So, first of all, I doubt the quality, unless it's a repeated instance and he's trying to capture a poltergeist. Who puts it? You said it perfectly. It's like, who puts a camera in their bathroom, for crying out loud? Like in today's day and age, I could get hacked easily, and there you go. Your nudes are on the internet. No, I just looking at the quality of the camera, it looks too good for a surveillance camera. Like the footage that's coming through, and it looks like they've just added little scan lines in for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Not only that, like the guys there, if it was a poltergeist, it looks like your classic theater technique of strings, of having a string or something, or like a little thumper there. But even there, when he runs back into the bathroom so suddenly over a single item falling down, where that happens every day. Like I have something that might fall down in my house, and it's like, oh, it's like was just stored incorrectly. For him to act so quickly and suddenly to run in the bathroom and alert, I'm like, maybe you're acting here. Sorry, friendo.
I also think he's acting pretty badly too. This is how I would act, because I've never been trained as an actor, but the times I've had to act as like, I don't know, corporate work training, or even when doing the film course, and like, half the students would be split into like film directors, the other half would be acting. My acting was so shocking. And so if they were like, the scene is, thing has fallen down in the bathroom, you got to pretend you're shocked. And the way he acts is exactly like how I would act, being like, what?
Yeah, and that's how he acts. It's like it's there's no stakes. He's already like running to the bathroom, kind of the expectation, which in acting is called endgaming. It's like you're running to the bathroom already knowing what's happened, and that's what he's doing there in this circumstance. Like he's running there with so much alert in his face to think, oh my god, it's a ghost. Like it's like your old sort of like montage. Just like, oh, shot A and shot B are meant to indicate what like has happened here, but it's like, oh, you look at the security camera captures poltergeist. It's like, how does he know? Like, how does he know that bottle that has fallen down is a poltergeist? Like, it could have been like a towel that had fallen off, or a toothbrush on the sink stand that had fallen off, or something like that. But he runs there with such alert. It's like that something bad or terrible has happened. That's what leads it to me to be so unbelievable.
With this next video, this is actually very similar to the second video that we watched. This person appears out of nowhere, but the difference is this is in broad daylight this time. There's no nighttime spooky aspect to it. There's no other updates. This is just one video that got uploaded to a random channel in 2017. So I'll play this video for you. keep your eye in front of this car, just about here. And I've rewatched this video plenty of times just in case it was a weird anomaly, but this guy just runs out of nowhere.
He's running very fast too. Like,
and I mean, I've like looked at the footage, kept my eye on the right side of the screen before this person jumps in front of the car, but it doesn't look like there's anyone there. And likewise, just where did he come from?
I don't know.
Because my initial thought was maybe somehow this person appeared where this car was, just as it's driving, and that's how, like, it's just a, what do you call it, like an illusion of perspective. So he may have ran up beforehand, but even here, we don't really see anyone running along this part. I also thought it could have been someone that jumped out of the car, but we don't see any of the car doors open.
The doors don't open.
And he just waltzes in out of nowhere. I thought maybe it could have also been this red car, but likewise, none of the car doors open with that car either. And he would have to run at a distance too as well to still be within that frame.
The only thing I could think of is because the rest of that woodland area on the right is very dark. Could it be that the camera failed to ascertain that he was coming from there, possibly? So,
yeah, for sure. Especially with these type of dash cam videos, which are supposed to give a wider point of view lens. You know, more of a. I should know my filmography terms, but honestly, I haven't done proper film for like 10 years.
So. Oh well, no. Well, dash cams are a different story, though. It's not like your professional style footage. So they're made for quantity over quality usually. So
it's just strange. This is also the first time I've seen like a weird appearance like this in the daylight. Usually everything's always nighttime because nighttime's supposed to be spooky season, whereas daytime you don't really capture anything like this, even though drivers are more likely to be driving on the road in the daytime compared to nighttime. But
can you go back to the full speed for that at the very start? Because like even looking at him running past, he seems abnormally fast for someone. Like, these cars are not going slow. Like, that's very fast.
It'd have to be like...
Yeah, I just, I
did think potentially maybe it could be green screened, and they've had some elements of, like, motion blur. They've really degraded his footage to... like I was gonna say slow motion cam to the dash cam quality, but if they've done that, they've done it pretty damn well, because I couldn't think of how to do that type of green screen effect, considering it would be a lot of keyframing. They'd have to film it the exact same way that this dash cam had filmed it, because it goes around the bend, and likewise you'd have to get the point of view shot where, you know, you move your camera from one angle to say 90 degrees when he like runs past. But even then, you would still need a point of reference in order to have this kind of shot.
Like looking at it, it blends in too well to feel like it's been green screened or something like that because of the perspective. Like, it looks like this person naturally is running past the screen, and if it was animated, why? Like, you've got better things to do with your time as an animator than make fake ghost footage. So
this one has been attempted to be debunked, but there's been no plausible explanation. Other people have tried to say that it's actually come from this lane over here where the cursor's highlighting, but I still can't explain this video, even from a technological perspective, or even from a, you know, Russia being Russia, is it Vladimir Putin? But I don't know. This one always
gets
me.
The next war technology.
They're going to start sending out ghost cars to, like, the UK.
Yeah, like, see, that's weird.
Like, I just don't understand how this car just appears out of nowhere. even if
See that the driver brakes, which is good. That tells me that there's something going on there. But where you have to think, is it a matter of forced perspective? But looking there, there's nowhere that it could have come from.
Like, I thought even here, did it come from this lane? Because you see the cars drive past, but it's still the tram, train, light rail, whatever that is, the white truck. And then I thought maybe it was a car that was going down that line of highway, and it just appeared out of nowhere. But even then, I can't explain it. It also doesn't appear from the right to the left at any point. It just literally seems to appear like as if this car had just given birth to it. With this first video, this is quite a popular video, I'm sure you've probably seen. It was first uploaded 14 years ago. In this video, the police are chasing this phantom car, as some people have called it, where it's on a bit of a high-speed chase, and then out of nowhere, the car just seems to drive through a fence, and the police aren't able to chase them anymore. So I'll just play the video for you. So you can tell in this very grainy footage, the car's out of control. They're trying to drive after them. And then right about here, the car veers towards the left. And there's a chain link fence that, you know, I'm not sure how they would have gotten through. But again, if I play it back in, say, quarter speed, I feel like we don't actually see anything over here to indicate that there's still a chain link fence. Maybe the car drove next to a very big open gap that we don't see in this footage. And, you know, cops are pretty much hopeless at this stage, ACAB, but surely they would have noticed that there's space, like, in between this chain link fence. But it just seems to, like, give up on trying to chase this car. Also, I love how pixelated this is. You could definitely tell this was uploaded in 2007.
I had to really concentrate.
But in terms of its believability, I mean, I do believe this is a real video recording. I don't think anything's been doctored in the footage. I just don't believe necessarily that this chain link fence that appears out of nowhere is a full length, you know, fence. I feel like there's gaps on either side for the car to go through, and that it's more of an optical illusion, if you like.
I just reckon that's not the direction he ended up going.
I
just like, you don't see it on camera, but he obviously, when he veered to the left, he may have kept going left, or, you know, something like that. Because it's not, you don't really have a clear view of everything that's going on.
I was also thinking, could it be that this car may have turned to the left and then maybe just done a U-turn? And then when the cops... like chucked a Yui, the police car, when it pulls up the chain link fence, maybe there just happened to be another car that was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it was just driving off. So it's the illusion that this is the same car. Or maybe they're the car from Harry Potter and it turned invisible or some shit, or there's probably like a giant spring that the car's just like just jumped over the fence. But
like Inspector Gadget.
I don't know. I think there's more to this video than what's actually showed. There's been no other follow-ups to this either. There's been no interviews with the police officer. There's been no other proof. Like, you know, if I had uploaded this video, I'm sure there would have been someone in the YouTube community at the time, because YouTube was actually quite huge back in 2007, 2008. You know, I would have expected someone to be like, site inspection, let's go check out the fence, and then they show how the car could have driven through, like if there were gaps or something, but there's almost nothing on this, so it's a no for me.
Yeah, same.
I don't know why this is placed at number 1, honestly, in this top 16 scariest ghostly moments compilation, but it's to do with office chairs just seemingly moving around by itself. So I'll just play the video for you. As you can see, one of the spinning chairs starts to move on its own accord. Doesn't seem to be going in one specific direction. Then a second one starts moving. I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of these kinds of videos where it's like haunted offices. Maybe workaholics, got too tired of working too hard and they just decided, that's it. I'm ending my life, but I'm also going to still keep working for this company and haunt the shit out of it. But while no one's in the office, of course. So I just feel like there's so... Shit, let me go back. I don't know. I just feel like there's so many ways that this could have easily been rigged, like through strings or through... Like, they could have easily rigged this through strings, through wiring, and just, like, had different people, like, tug on it to make the chairs move. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm looking around at the room, and it kind of, to me, this desk at the front is, at least in my view, it looks bigger than a lot of the little cubicles and stuff. I'm wondering if this is like a university or something like that. And if perhaps this was someone's film final video or something. Or some, yeah. There's plenty of ways that you could do this. I've been watching that clock as well to make sure it's going along at a consistent rate, and I'm not sure that it is, because this is easily something that you could do, particularly if it's a camera that only takes certain shots at certain times.
Oh God! Sorry, I had to leave this video in because it is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. This video, I'm just going to preface this. I don't know why this is on the list. Keep your eye on the cat here, where it moves to, and also what appears on the right here. So as you can see, the cat walks towards the left.
Yeah.
And then the cat comes back into the shot from this other doorway here, but it moved to the left. So this video has been called The Teleporting Cat. That's it. That's the whole video. People are claiming this is proof that the cat teleported. So,
it's
right
the
after
same video, 20 seconds later, or there's two cats. Easy.
Yeah. Exactly. When I was
watching cat, that's heaps funny. It's a good name for a band, actually.
I just see it in the lineup, but when I watched this, I was like, "Oh, there's two cats. Does this mean that like the table here is gonna move, or I don't know, this thing's gonna fly into the air, or the tennis racket will fall down, and then both cats come into the frame?" But nope. The only description is this is allegedly proof the cat teleported because it went to the left here. This door's shut. That door's open, yes, but the cat doesn't walk past, and then somehow it comes back here. To me, I use this trick all the time. I used to make fake ghost videos for some reason all the time when I was like 15, 16. It's literally just the same thing as you take 1 minute worth of... Hold on, I think I hit my microphone. You take 1 minute worth of footage, and the first 10 seconds you leave like to the left, and then you just walk around the camera and then enter from the right. And it's supposed to be woo. And like all you do is cut out the section in between. And I mean, there's nothing here like ghost orbs or dust or anything. I also find it very suspicious that there's no clock to indicate the surveillance footage. And even if there was surveillance footage, I'd be like, oh, they added that time code in during the editing stage to make it look like, see, the one cat came back in. But I really don't believe this one. I think this is actually probably the fakest video I've had on this series.
Damn. Okay. It's pretty, whatever. Even if that cat could teleport, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, you'd think you'd do something a bit more scary.
This last one, it is so old. like really
yes,
old.
Hampton fucking court. Yeah. I remember seeing all the different images of this on ghoststudy.com when we remember that website.
I'm remember that website.
It still hasn't been updated since then.
No, it hasn't. I actually went on that website a couple of weeks ago because I was telling work people, oh, me and my friend, we used to go on to Ghost Study all the time. And my manager, who's actually reminds me so much of Kat, but imagine Kat in her 50s. So we get along very well. And she's like, oh, I used to go onto a few ghost websites back in the day. So I sent her this one and she goes, is this like an archive version or is this how it looks? I was like, no, this is how it looks. It hasn't been updated since 2006.
Frozen in time. Just looking at that image, this image we're looking at the moment, just reminds me of that cramped little computer room at Nambucca Primary.
What's interesting about this one is that even though I think it's still fake, you know, it's a proper like historic royal palace. So maybe they were generating some tourism for this place. I don't know. I mean, there's been other places like in episode 2, Erin-Rae, Govers and I, we investigated this alleged proof of Bigfoot walking through the woods, but mysteriously this Bigfoot character was always next to a souvenir shop that was dedicated to Bigfoot. So it's like, well, surely they just get one of their employees to dress up as this Bigfoot thing once a month. It doesn't even look like Bigfoot. And, you know, that's how they generate constant coverage of this thing, because conspiracy theorists, you know, paranormal lovers like myself, if I'm near there, I'd probably be like, oh, let's go there one Saturday. But, you know, this one, I don't feel like there's a need to produce this kind of hype for it, but I'm still confused. But I'll press play on the video. So, amazing frame rate. It's like 1 frame per 10 minutes. And yet, I don't know. They've referred to it as Skeletor. I've also referred to it as the Antichrist. I just feel like it's still someone in a theater costume or some kind of like cheap Kmart Halloween outfit. I mean, I still find it very suspicious that, you know, given that this video was taken in the early 2000s, yes, I understand why the frame rate is bad and the quality is bad, like all surveillance cameras were back in the day. But, you know, just, I don't know. I don't necessarily think this is believable. I think it's too suspicious that whatever this figure is grabs onto both of the doors to like slam it shut again. But I don't know, I feel like this is one of the most famous instances of early 2000s, you know, recorded proof of paranormal activity. But I don't know, it's still a no for me. But what are your thoughts?
Fuck, it takes me back. I'd never actually seen the like the video. I'd just seen the shots of just all the individual stills of that. It does strike me as weird that it almost seems like it's peeking out, like it's worried someone's watching. And if it's in order after it's completely opened the doors, it does look very Victorian, what they're wearing. So like you said, maybe like a theater costume or something like that. I know they call it Skeletor because it looks like the legs are like twigs, I guess, but I feel like that's just the angle. I feel like it's just a big billowing costume. And then that's just the opening of that costume, if that makes sense, where the jacket sort of opens while it's buttoned up further up. But yeah, I remember thinking this was creepy when I was like 12 and being like, ugh. Not as creepy as that bloody evil bunny though. That'll haunt me forever.
This was captured of 2 cats, one that you can see on the bed, the other one's just hiding in another room. Something has disturbed these cats, and 10 seconds into this video, you'll notice just where this doorway is, that there seems to be a figure that just walks past. So I'll press play. So as you can see, the cat's quite alert. Something has walked past here.
There is a shadow there. I saw a shadow.
And now this other cat has just seen it, trying to figure out what's happening. But I'll just go back. So my first thoughts were it was actually a person that was walking past a different room and that their shadow was just being projected onto the wall. But, you know, cats usually detect when it's their owners in the house, nothing bothers them unless they want food. But yeah, I find this quite freaky.
I mean, it could be a break-in.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know, there was the shadow there, and so that made me think it was physically a person.
Yeah. I'm still trying to debunk this one, you know, from a skeptical point of view. I think, you know, maybe this is just a projection of a shadow. Maybe it's like a trick done by someone to try and get more views on YouTube, or even just someone trying to become like internet famous, if you like. But there's been no other interviews with the people who captured this footage. There's been no follow-up videos. It's just been this one upload and no other information. So I'm not sure what to think.
So you're a skeptic, is that right?
So in the first episode, I stated that I was on the border between believing in the paranormal and also this, like, being a skeptic, because I've had plenty of paranormal experiences, but I feel like I'm always trying to find a logical explanation for each experience I've had. But the more that I do these videos, the more that I realize actually I'm more of a full believer than I expected.
See, because I'm a believer, but I didn't know about that video there.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know about that one.
If I had to give like a final decision, I'm going to say that this one can be explained by someone else walking in another room. Could be a break-in, could be the cat's owners, could be anyone else that may be visiting at the time, but it's not enough for me to be like, yes, this is a paranormal video.
Yeah, no, that one doesn't get me either, so all good.
It's a no for us. I don't know about this one. This one feels quite fake to me as well. I have so many questions. So this was filmed on a plane, an empty plane no one allegedly was on. There's no other information to it, just that this person was filming on the plane for some reason, had his phone out, but it just looks too much like as if it's a scene from a horror movie, like The Grudge or Rings or any, you know, Japanese horror movie, just because of this figure that you will see in a couple of seconds towards the end of the plane. So there seems to be some figure that just pops in from the top left corner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Then the guy just runs off, but it's never explained why he's on the plane in the first place.
So the plane's empty.
Yeah.
So some guy's just on a plane filming and it's empty.
Yeah, it doesn't say whether he's like a pilot or if he's one of the, what do you call it? Stewardesses, flight attendants. And I just find it very suspicious. What I get from this is that there's probably someone hiding like on top of a box in the corner out of view, and they're just like peeking around to make this look like a ghost video.
So I mean, I can't see the hair, but I'm seeing like a shadow sort of thing. But in saying that, I didn't realize you can't film on a plane. So.
It's more of an unspoken rule. Like if it's just a regular, you know, run-of-the-mill tourist or whatnot, just on a plane, like taking selfies or taking photos out of the window for Instagram or Snapchat or whatnot, that's okay. But if you're on a plane by yourself, you know, and you're taking photos, it's going to look very suspicious. But there's been no other information as to whether maybe the pilots ordered investigation, maybe they thought there was a terrorist on board or something, that's why they were filming it. But also, why would they, you know, if this is a human, why would they be on a plane during nighttime in the dark?
Are you talking about the chick from The Ring when you said...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, who's that? Is that a friend of yours? No, but I can see what you're saying now. I was like, oh, it looks like the chick from The Ring, but I didn't know that was her name. It could be an advertisement for The Ring, or she could be real.
You know, that's interesting too. In one of the sequels that I don't think anyone ever watched, there's a part where the opening sequence features Samara coming out of the what do you call it, like the little TVs on the back of airplane seats, and somehow she's supposed to come out of a small TV. But yeah, that movie was god stupid.
This is just it's Samara, right? Samara on a plane instead of snakes on a plane. That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah. Like, I'm just waiting for Samuel L. Jackson to be like, I'm sick of these motherfucking ghost girls on this motherfucking plane, but... Actually, speaking of, like, viral marketing stunts and whatnot, this was marketed as being a real, genuine video, but straight away, this is clearly fake. This is a marketing stunt. I mean, it's uploaded to Paramount Pictures UK for a start, so with the title, Captured Footage on CCTV of Paranormal Activity. But if you look closely, you'll be able to see the reflections of crew members, camera operators. But I'll play it for you anyway. It's a bit of a fun video.
It ruined it for me knowing it's from Paramount. That's all right. We'll see.
It screams fake to me.
Devastating. I mean, the fact that it says Paramount's, I mean, really selling it for me is not real, which is sad because I'm a believer and I want to see something scary. And I'm not getting the vibe that it's, I'm not getting the vibe that it's kind of, real or whatever.
Yeah. I remember when this video was first uploaded back in 2011 or 2012. And all the comments were like, oh my God, this is so scary. This is so real. And I was watching it being like, are you sure?
Yeah, that one was 100% no. I mean, the plane one was more believable for me than that, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be good.
So this one, actually, fun fact, I've stolen this footage for a few other pre-hype projects I was doing, like this anthology horror movie called Nightmare. So this one's quite popular. I feel like this has been seen on Facebook quite a few different times. It's also been uploaded to TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, every single app. But this is supposed to be proof of a haunting in a specific office in the UK. But I haven't actually seen any other interviews with like whoever owns this office building or space. No one's come forward to be like, oh, I've experienced this before. It seems like this CCTV footage was just sent to multiple news sources like the Daily Mail, the Telegraph in the UK. It made its way onto Sunrise in Australia, but nothing else has been provided.
So this is multiple rooms, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the UK is very spiritual. They have a lot of Glastonbury and all those sorts of places. And I mean, I could believe that because it wasn't so extreme either.
Yeah.
This extreme, oh my God, everything's exploding. Look at the computers. So for me, I feel like that one could, and I hope nobody comes to me for this, but I feel like that one could actually be something. Yeah. I believe that one because it's not over the top. It's not dramatic. It's not like, oh my God, look at me. And I didn't see any strings on it either. But I mean, I was just fascinated by the fact that the chair was moving. We've got the male mind. It was like, oh my God, something's happening.
And I feel like if this was going to be a fake video, there'd be something else like monitors would flash on or the TV would fall down.
They'd be like making a point of it. They'd be like, oh, this is happening, look. And you'd be like, no, it's not.
This one's a bit of a weird one. So it is quite long. It goes for 2 minutes, but I'm just going to show you the 15 seconds, which actually highlights some kind of spooky activity. But in short, this security guard was hearing noises during wherever this was filmed. He goes around multiple different areas, staircases. He was hearing the voice of a little girl that was laughing, playing tricks, but also loud banging on doors, which aren't recorded in this segment. But about 10 seconds into this video, you'll see what looks like a shadow figure just walk across the room, fly across the room. So I'll just play it for you.
Oh, I saw that, yeah. It was like, do you say it sounded like someone was laughing or wanting to play or something? Is that what you said before?
Yeah, like he was hearing the voice of like a little girl laughing, but then he was also hearing loud bangs on the doors around other rooms he was looking in.
Yeah, see, because that gives me the vibe of like, you know when you see in the movies, but like more of a realistic thing of what it could be based off, of where there's like the little girl or the child and they're like, hey, you want to play?
Yeah.
And then they like, you know, and then they like throw a ball, they hit something because they're trying to play.
Yeah.
That figure going across, I feel could be something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just want to play. They just want a good time, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all
and I mean, from a technical perspective, I went through each frame by frame. I downloaded this video, I put it into my editing software, I upped the brightness, decreased the contrast, tried to apply similar effects to mirror this same shape, but there's no way that this could have been recreated, especially considering that this was filmed on what I assume to be an iPhone or some kind of smartphone or even like a camcorder or whatnot, but this can't be recreated. So to me, this is the most genuine out of all the videos we've seen so far.
Well, the research sounds like it was really intense too. I wouldn't do all that. I'd just go, it's real.
Like, I was like, I know if I put this type of video content out, there's going to be someone in the comments being like, oh, I put it into my video editing software and I upped the brightness. Here's where you can see the tracking marks or whatnot. But this one, like, couldn't recreate it. I tried doing the same shape. I tried doing it keyframe by keyframe. Even then, it looks so obvious that this was a digital effect that I added. Whereas this one, I mean, you can even see through the shadow at some points. So
it's a shape that you would say that it is, out of curiosity.
So I took it from, I think it was this one, because to me, I thought it was wearing like a veil.
Yeah.
So I got the impression that this was like a little girl or a teenage girl, just given the height. And I thought maybe she was wearing like old-fashioned clothing from maybe like the early 1900s.
See, that's why it's not working, because you're not wearing old-fashioned clothing when you're recreating it.
I'll just like put that into my Photoshop's.
Note that in. Wear old-time dress. That'll help. No, I think that one's real.
Yeah, same. It's interesting. I've said this on almost every other episode, but you know, back in 2006, 2007, when YouTube was starting to take off and be a big thing, there were numerous ghost videos, there were numerous uploads around being like proof of the paranormal, which were a lot more believable. Now, if you type in like real ghost or real paranormal caught on tape, it's the most fake footage. It's clearly done for a comedic effect for like a TikTok or for an Instagram, and you know, I'm guilty of doing this exact same thing with this video series, but it's almost always like compilations of like the top 5 or top 10 ghost videos caught on tape. But you know, it's just frustrating because like I just want to find the original video for this, so it's hard to come by.
If they do a TikTok, like, isn't TikToking dancing and stuff? I don't know. I've TikToked once in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't do dance challenges.
No, I did one TikTok for a Donut King advertisement, and I mean, I ruined that. So I don't know if someone could TikTok a ghost that well.
Now I'm interested in this Donut King commercial.
It's not out yet, the donuts with the TikTok. So they hold the donuts and they hold them. Where's the camera on that thing? They hold the donut to the camera like that. And then the person does like the donut right in, and then it comes out and it's a different person. And I said, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but I said, watch me. I said, watch me fuck this up. So what did I do? I fucked it up. So, anyways, I don't know about TikToking a ghost. This is real as far as I'm concerned, this one.
No, same here. this isn't actually a video, it's a still image, but this is something I've seen on like numerous Reddit posts, numerous Facebook pages and whatnot. It's I guess been classified as one of the creepiest images taken from a security like camera, like one of those home things, like what are they called again? The Ring doorbells or whatever.
Ring camera.
That's it. So I don't know. To me, this image, like, I know it's a real person. I don't think it's necessarily paranormal. I just think it's the creepiest thing I've ever seen. So I wanted to spotlight it this episode. But when I first saw this, I thought someone had edited one of those Weasley brothers from the Harry Potter movies. And I was like, oh yeah, that's Fred. Like, it's Fred or George or whatever stupid name that they have. But I don't know. I haven't really captured anything creepy like this on a door cam. I mean, on a previous episode, I spoke about how we actually caught this woman who was walking like this on our front lawn last year at my parents' house. And she was doing it to snip our Christmas lights because she was so jealous of the fact that, I mean, my mum and I, we decorated the entire front of our house, like Christmas lights, blow up, like toy soldiers, snowman, fake snow, ball lights, ball Christmas trees, everything. And this woman had previously won like best Christmas house of the town or whatever, but they weren't even running that competition last year. We just did it for fun. And she snipped the Christmas lights, and then we thought, holy shit, what other things are on that security camera that we haven't noticed? Because like we had turned off the motion detection feature, otherwise that camera would go off every 5 seconds because like a fly would go past and it'd be like beep, motion detected. But just wondering, have you ever caught anything weird on a security camera or like a work surveillance camera, anything like that?
I've never had one of those cameras, but funny enough, I always cover my webcam, and maybe it's not funny, it's kind of scary. I have a friend back at home who bought a probably lower to middle end webcam for her kid to put in her kid's room when she was, I think, like 1.5. And it must have been hacked by like it sounded like it was like teenagers from the Soviet bloc, like one of those countries over there. But all of a sudden, people started screaming at her kid through the speaker and like cursing and laughing, and they sounded like teenagers. But so her kid, yeah, so like, and you think if they have access to the speaker, they have access to the camera. So then like these people could see inside her kid's room. So I have always now, I have a Post-it I put right in front of my camera at all times because that freaks me out so bad.
Holy shit. Yeah, I've got a standalone webcam that I'm definitely going to put like a Polaroid in front of from now on. You see those laptops sometimes where you can just like slide the camera to the left so that it's hidden at all times. But even then, I'm trying to remember who specifically it was. It was either the head of Microsoft or the head of Intel.
I go folded Post-it.
Nice. Like, I don't know. I remember one of these like CEOs of a big tech company. He also put something similar in front of his webcam camera, and people were like, "Oh, it's so that people can't hack his computer and see into his room and whatnot." And I mean, this was back in like 2011, where that type of information wasn't necessarily publicly known. That yes, that type of hacking does exist, but honestly, fuck that. I mean, good luck to anyone trying to hack my webcam. It'll just be like my 3 posters of like Lana Del Rey, James Dean, and probably me just like playing video games or just going on my phone. So welcome to the show, hackers.
Yeah, that's really funny because actually me and my partner were talking the other day about how, you get on YouTube, right? And like you might pick something innocuous, but then it does this algorithm that brings you into, for me it was people who talk to angels, and for him it was QAnon and like the manosphere and like anti-women stuff. He said that you watch one video one time of like some guy that was shared to him, and then all of a sudden it was like all anti-women stuff and crazy. But what I said to him was, I must be the most innocent person because the only 2 ones I have to back is that Reddit seems to think I like the Great British Bake Off. Who knows? And now Facebook seems to think I like Twilight shit posting. I have never seen Twilight in my life. I've never searched a vampire. I don't know what I've done. Like some people get like QAnon. I get the Great British Bake Off and Twilight shit posting.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if you get Twilight shit posting because of me. I'm part of that group, and sometimes I'll share it to my Facebook profile.
That might be it, because you're my. I couldn't figure it out. Like, what have I done that has made this come in multiple times into my feed?
Oh, I shit you not. So it's interesting talking about the algorithm and everything, because usually when I go onto YouTube, I either look up, like for instance, I've watched about 90 different paranormal videos in the past 3 weeks. Likewise, usually I just search like, I don't know, S Club 7 or Charlie XCX or old female rap songs. Yeah, like very gay things. But then lately I'll go onto YouTube on my phone and it's Ben Shapiro, Turning Point USA, and I'm like, what the hell? I've never engaged with these videos before. Or it's like
the worst
stupid videos where it's like man takes down, destroys trans argument or whatever, and I'm like, I'm pro-trans. Why am I getting anti-transgender content on my YouTube?
That's what Corey got. Corey got a thing that was like, man shoots down feminist, but it was Amber Rose. And he was like, what the hell is this person talking about? And he clicked it to see what this, and it was somebody who was, I don't know, debating with Amber Rose, and she must have looked stupid. I didn't watch it, but just that one video, because he was like, why are they calling her a feminist? Like, this is obviously her. That was it. He started getting that Andrew Tate guy, and he started getting everything. And now all of a sudden he's getting like all the anti-women stuff.
So with his next video,
I'll tell you, I hated that first picture. I don't watch horror stuff. That thing, I'm going to think about that after this. I didn't like that at all.
I'll just like edit it in post-production. Instead, it'll just be like my face being like.
That's okay. That thing was from hunger. That was not.
But so yeah, with this next video, this is based on Elisa Lam. So she was staying at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. She went missing. There had been rumors that they found her body in the rooftop, but that was also referenced on season 1 of How to Get Away with Murder. But this one, it's the footage that they captured in the surveillance. So I'll just press play for you. So what you can see is that she enters the elevator. Seems like nothing's really wrong at first, but she's like, I don't know what she's doing with the buttons. I can't tell if she's calling for help or if she's like trying to call the phone system or break the elevator or whatnot. But in the subsequent footage, it looks like she's peering out, looking for someone, like as if she's in some kind of danger. Now, the Cecil Hotel have never released any other security footage from any other angles. They've never been able to explain what had happened to Elisa, but it seems like she's in some kind of danger, some kind of threat. Looks like she's a little bit scared, especially with her body language. You know, she's got her arms together, her legs together. But this is the last recorded footage of this person.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. How do you speculate? You see someone acting like that, and you just automatically think that they're on something. But like, yeah, you're that freaked out. You're looking out at someone. You might act real strange. Like, you just don't know what to do. You lock up.
I mean,
it's happening like this.
You know, it's sidetracking a little bit, but I remember one time I was in Los Angeles and I went to a tattoo studio on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I booked in a tattoo, which I never showed up for because I'm a huge sook when it comes to needles. So I could never follow through with a tattoo, even though I've had like numerous piercings, I've bungee jumped, all that jazz. But I remember the tattoo guy, he was so cool and everything. He goes, oh, well, we'll book you in for 4 p.m., but what are you doing now? I was like, oh, I was just going to walk around Hollywood for a little bit. He's like, oh, do you want to join? And I was like, yeah. Am I allowed? Is it legal in California yet? And short answer, no, it was not. But we went outside anyway. It was the strongest weed I've ever had. And when I tell you I was stumbling walking through the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I must have looked like I was off my rocker. My legs were jelly. My arms felt like that were like one of those like wacky waving inflatable tube men at like a car dealership. And even 12 hours later, I was supposed to go to a Lana Del Rey concert. I was in the back of the Uber. I felt like I had become part of the car. I was that baked. I've never had that before. I guess Australian weed is a bit more shit in that aspect, but even then, it's like I've seen some people around Los Angeles, and I'm like, I know exactly what they're on, like whether it's like cocaine or if it's weed or if it's like LSD or whatnot, because there's so many people in Sydney that do it in public that I don't know, you're just like able to recognize. But this footage, I feel like she is on something, and with respect to her, if she has passed away or whatnot, but it's just her movements are a bit too erratic and a bit too freaky.
Yeah, and we've just talked now for the last minute. The video went on for a really long time, and she was acting in the same patterned ways over and over.
Yeah.
Like, to me, yeah, I don't know. It's like a horror. I feel like that's the way I would act, is if I was like in a bad dream and it was a horror bad dream.
Mm. And
Goodness.
Netflix did a series on this. Actually, it's called Cecil or Cecil Hotel. I got to actually look, insert proper title here, but I watched that full series. It didn't explain anything at all. It was the exact same as that, like the true disappearance of Madeleine McCann, but there wasn't actually any information that was helpful to that case. It was just
New information, yeah.
It was just a bunch of speculation, so it was a big waste of time. But this type of elevator footage, I would love to see some kind of explanation one day, but it's been so long since this video was first published that, I mean, if we were going to get an explanation, it would have been in like the first week or the first month. I doubt we'll hear anything from like the Cecil Hotel, the Elisa Lamb herself, her family. I have a feeling something weird was going on and that she very well possibly died. There's been no other sighting of her. It's unfortunate, but I don't know, this video still gives me the creeps, so yeah.
Oh, it's definitely creepy, but yet somehow that first picture was worse, which I guess I'll work that out with a therapist. But yes, absolutely terrible and very unsettling. That's, like, I think the best way to put it is seeing the movement patterns is very unsettling, and obviously something's not right. So fingers crossed.
Oh my God. Okay. Have you ever heard the story of Dear David?
No, I don't do creepy. Tell me. I'm into this. What is this?
Oh my God. So if you thought that image in that first picture was creepy, so I'll go into a little bit of a backstory with this one. So there's an animator in New York who started documenting what he suspected was evidence that he was being haunted by some kind of poltergeist or some kind of ghost. And this is quite a long video, so I've only just gone up to the part that was supposed to be the actual proof. But weird things were happening, like his cats were always meowing at a specific wall in the middle of the night. He would look through the peephole and see a strange shadow, even to the point where he would hear this noise coming from what's the right word, like a manhole in the roof.
I like that word, manhole.
And when he got someone in to inspect the
manhole,
all that he found was a single marble that it could have just been there from anywhere, but he suspected it belongs to this kid named David. And now this David figure is a ghost boy with a bit of a caved-in head. And he initially documented this as a Twitter thread from years and years ago and would update it every so often. It then moved on to Reddit. He's also, I believe he's acquired a deal to turn this into a film of some sort, but that deal was made like 3-4 years ago. There's been no other updates since then. I mean, yeah, COVID could have put that on hold, but I don't know, I feel like this was at its peak popularity years ago. Now, most people wouldn't have heard it, but it's the images that make this like freaky to me. But I'll just press play so you know what I'm actually talking about.
Oh, come on, man.
So there's this thing in the top left corner.
It's like a cone head.
Yeah. I thought it was a puppet, like a paper mache type of puppet. You know, it just looks a bit disorganized. But in this series of photos, so I didn't notice this until I watched the full video, he's actually sleeping on his bed in his New York apartment. And he he captured this on a camera through a bit of a. This is what I don't understand though. He says that he left the camera recording, and this is where he got the photos, but he's never released the actual video footage. So I feel like video is a lot harder to manipulate than a specific photo. But he refuses to release the video, and in subsequent photos, this little ghost boy thing gets closer and closer towards him to the point that he's actually standing over him in the bed.
Oh, come on, dude. Being a skeptic, I don't think it's real. But if it is real, like I will literally accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, because that is not. I hope my partner didn't hear that, because he'd be really excited to hear that come out of my mouth. Oh, come on, dude.
Like, that kind of looks like, I don't know, like a mistake with the blur tool in Photoshop. And
yeah,
there's a lot of flaws in his story too. He claims that he felt a presence, and when he woke up, he looked over and saw this boy walking towards him. But in all these pictures, it looks like he's asleep. So is he talking about the same night? Is he talking about different occurrences? He's never moved out of the apartment either. I'm sorry, if I saw one little thing, I'm burning down the house. You know?
Yeah, no, this is not, what is that, Buffy when Willow has the ghost roommate? This is not that. Like, it's not pouring him a cup of tea. Like, if it's standing over your bed. And exactly, he didn't leave. And like all the other pictures, you can't really tell, but this one's the one that looks like a really, it looks like almost like a superimposed illustration, like a 3 illustration.
Like, there's been some other videos I've looked at in previous episodes where we've analyzed the video keyframe by keyframe or looked at a specific image, and you can tell that it's not necessarily able to be digitally replicated. Even if you use the same shape in a video editing software and added like blurs and motion and this type of thing, you just don't get the same results. Also, given that, you know, unlike this one, some other videos from like 2006, I think one video we looked at was from 1997. And that was back in the days where camcorders were a huge thing. And it is so much harder to do a visual effects component for that type of thing, unless you're being employed by a Hollywood studio and you're getting paid, you know, millions of dollars to do these kind of effects. But the average person would have no idea how to do that. Nor would the average person have accessibility to video editing programs or hardware to even do that.
Yeah, to me, that looks like when you get a video game, but the booklet, when video games actually used to come with booklets, you know, let's date ourselves, but it has the really nice illustrations of like let's say Link, like an old like Zelda book, like and the Zelda book will have like really beautiful drawings, but then that's what that looks like.
Yeah.
To me, at least.
It's, I really want to believe this is real, only because if this was real, it would make it so much more spooky for me. But I just look at some of this stuff and I'm like, that's fake.
Yeah, and if it's real, that dude's haunted.
Yeah.
The first thing I'm going to is New Orleans and getting someone to sacrifice a rooster. Like,
this is where we actually get into a first proper video of a allegedly recorded ghost. So this was recorded at a pub in London. Keep your eye on the beer that's within this red circle. It's a pretty short clip. So you can see that the glass just moves a little bit slightly and then it just tips over completely. Now, my logical side tells me that it was already on a bit of a slant because it looks like it's on one of those mats, and that it just seemed to keel over and just fall over on its own accord. But the owners of this pub came forward in a news interview stating that they've had similar occurrences happen, whether it's on the mat, if it's not on a mat, if it's like actually, if it has something else in front of it, it will push past it and knock and fall over. It seems to be just like a ghost that's playing a trick on it. Possibly, they did say, I forget the name of it, there used to be someone who visited this pub every single day. And then one day he didn't show up and they thought, oh my God, something's happened to this person, because he would come in all the time. And then they found out after a couple of weeks that he had passed away. And they think it's his spirit, just like playing jokes with the bar staff. But
or it could be a really chunky ice machine, because that is just underneath the counter.
Yeah.
Granted, okay, listen, if this was a packed bar And that was on the mat, I would say. Very good chance, because I have bartended many a days, that that mat was full of liquid and they didn't realize it, and that the glass was kind of floating on top. You see an ice thing under it, yeah, maybe it vibrates a bunch. But the thing is, if they're claiming it happened spontaneously, you'd hear the ice machine go off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ghost.
Now, our lucky last video, this is very dear to my heart because I also vape. But I first saw this.
When I looked at the thing and I saw one was called Haunted Vape Shop, I was like, I'm into this.
So I first saw this clip on there's a show on, I don't know what channel it'd be on in America, but in Australia it's on Foxtel. It's called The Osbournes Want to Believe. That's actually where I've ripped this whole series from. So they also review like paranormal video.
Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah, him, his wife Sharon, their son Jack.
Stunning.
And like it is so entertaining because most of the time Sharon just goes on this tangent where she's like, it's the books, and Ozzy's like, shut the fuck up, Sharon, you're just a dumb bitch, or whatever. Like Ozzy being Ozzy, Sharon being Sharon. But the only thing I don't like about that show is that they'll review one video and then it's half an hour of behind the scenes shit, and it's like, oh, can you get back to the videos? Like that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I mean, this will totally age me, but in the first round of like true reality television, man, one of the best. There was a couple that were the best. There was Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, and the Osbournes. Those are your options. Like that is the cream of the crop. First round trash. Like I'm not a dating show person at all. Haven't watched any of them, but damn man, if you put Rock of Love on right now, I'd watch the whole thing. It's the best. And Flavor of Love, they're the best.
Flavor of Love, New York Tiffany Pollard made that entire show, but she's just going off. She's like, bye, pumpkin.
I love New York.
Yes.
Yep, Megan Wants a Millionaire. So many.
Oh, did you ever watch A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila?
Actually, I feel like I didn't watch that one. Yeah, I don't think so. But she got Nazi-ish. She got real weird.
Oh, she blocked me on Facebook and Twitter.
Did she?
Like, unprovoked. I didn't even message her with anything. Like, Amanda Bynes blocked me on Twitter as well, but that's because I messaged her saying, oh, I love your style, queen. And then she blocked me for it. And I was like, hey, I did not say anything mean and you blocked me. And I will forever...
She's going to school to be a manicurist. She just
I saw that.
Bless her. Bless the girl.
But
yeah, no, so yes, the Osbournes, the best. When they catch the kid smoking pot and he's ordering pizzas at 2 a.m., like it's too real. It's just too real.
I find that Gen Z, even though I'm like on the border of Gen Z and millennial, whatever, it's Gen Z have now discovered the Osbournes, and they've started doing compilation clips of Ozzy like throwing the knives against the metal grate and he misses the target completely. And they're like, oh, how come no one ever talks about this show? I was like, are you serious? That was like the most popular reality show back in like 2002. I mean, they were in Austin Powers in Goldmember. That's like a huge thing. Like the same thing that Beyonce, Britney Spears, the Osbournes, that's like cemented their pop legacy.
Hilarious. Oh, that was the best. Oh yeah, and I remember when I was in like 7th grade, my cousin brought me to Ozfest, and that was right before the show came out. So it was like, oh, I kind of like this hardcore thing, and like whatever. Actually, that's where I saw Marilyn Manson, and although sorry, it turned out to be a scumbag, but that was one of the best visual shows I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, but so when I saw, like I said on the run sheet, Haunted Vape Shop, I was like, I'm down for this. All right, what are we getting?
So there's actually been a few videos of haunted vape shops in particular. When I first saw this, I thought, oh, it's going to be a fake thing where they're saying like the cloud of vape is going to be the ghost of some kind. Because I was like, oh yeah, it's just like
Aladdin.
Yeah, like it'll just pop out of the cash register or something. But this happened a few times to this specific vape store. I believe it's in Los Angeles. But for some reason, the cabinets just explode out of nowhere. So you can see that the shelf just smashes in out of nowhere. I mean, I thought initially there could have been some kind of mechanism on top, like a glass shatter bomb, whatever you want to call it. But this guy,
nothing on that shelf moved. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's the videos I have a hard time with. I can sit here and analyze a picture all day and say it looks like X, but then you put a video in front of me and I'm like, oh, I don't know, it looks like freaking ghosts.
And like, I couldn't actually find the original other video because I was hoping to do this as a bit of a two-parter. In this other video, it looks like a bottle of hand sanitizer just like moves across, like not only the cash register that it sat on, but also jumps onto the glass display, and then the front display of the window shatters as well. And it's like, how would they have done that? Because it's not like as if this bottle of hand sanitizer just like it doesn't look like it's on a string or a puppet, because you can tell.
You pull it with a string or something.
And like it really got to me because I was like, oh, that looks like someone's genuinely holding it. Could they have done some kind of green screen effect? Yes, but doing green screen is so complicated that most people realize, because you have to factor in like if they held it, they would have had to still like green screen the part where the green would shine through the clear bottle, which is a lot of money. Like, I mean, there's it's called Cherry Lips by the band Garbage. They have a whole music video from 2001 where the singer, she's in a green screen outfit, but she's got like the stripper boots on top of this green costume, like sunglasses, everything. But even to do that kind of effect, it costs $150,000 for 29 seconds worth of footage. Like, that same cost today would probably be dramatically less, maybe $20,000. But it's not like it's not like a vape store is going to take a risk on $20,000 in the hopes that this might go viral. And
yeah, well, that's and me being the dealing with industry and government and all these things, where my first thing I think about is like, what do they have to gain from that? Like, could they buy an expensive thing to shatter the glass? But like, you know what I mean? If their logo was like, let's say the logo of their shop was sitting like right in the top of it, and I would be like, all right, they're trying to get something going. But like, what do they gain from this other than a video that's viral? You know, unless there's that many ghost crew that like would come around a haunted vape shop.
Yeah.
But nothing on that shelf above it moves.
Like it. And like, I even thought maybe like my stepdad, he is a glass glazer type of person. Like, he'll cut out the glass, he'll make sure that it's like properly fit in, like whether it's houses or one of his passion projects is doing the stained glass windows for churches, mostly because the churches pay a shit ton of money for it. But he works with an entire crew, and it takes such a long amount of time to get these stained glass things properly. They got to cut out the right shapes, add proper shading and everything. And I remember working with him when I was 15, and he's like, oh, just careful. If you drop that, that's $30,000 gone. And I'm like, why am I holding it? Like, can't you transport it to the truck? Like, fuck, put me under pressure. But
this is not my bird. It's like somebody. It's like when my best friend had her baby after 4 hours. She tried to have me hold it, and I was like, "This was in you 4 hours ago, and it's soft and squishy. I'm not touching that thing. Like, I love you. I love the little blob, but I'm not touching it." And like, it took like 3 or 4 days before I was comfortable enough to, like, I felt like it was like hardened enough to touch.
Yeah.
So like, someone tried to give me that glass, I'd be like, find another friend. That's not me.
Yeah, and like, I know that there's specific things where even if you put the glass at, say, like less than 1 degree at the wrong angle, even the tiniest little touch could shatter that entire glass piece because of how fragile it is. And it's not like as if it would break off in like large chunks. It's like raining glass shards, if you like, especially if it's very thin. Given that this looks like it's quite thick, yes, it does break apart into larger chunks and whatnot, but being a thicker glass, I mean, even if you got like a cup and you like threw it down at it, it would most likely just break the cup, not the glass itself. So
yeah, because you'd want it to be thick enough to prevent a smash and grab, which is very popular in my country. You know, because a bunch of people running in and smashing the glass and overwhelming them. So it wouldn't be glass that you could easily like smack with a hammer. You could probably get it down in like 4 or 5 shots with a hammer, but it's not just gonna tink.
this is alleged proof of a poltergeist in someone's house. They've recorded it in separate rooms on a video camera. It was actually recorded last year in 2021, so it's quite recent. I hadn't seen this one myself before, so I'll just press play for you. So you can see some things are starting to fall off the shelves, while items get thrown around. And my first thought was I did see something on a string, which I'll go back and replay in a second, but there's some things in here, like the fork flying out of the drawer or whatever utensil that was. It makes me wonder what would have been the point of someone faking this to upload it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I didn't even catch the string.
Oh, I'll go back after that chair. But yeah, chair spins around. I mean, that can be done easily with wires.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily see anything. The camera looks like it's recording on a screen, which I don't actually think helps legitimize it, because someone could have put strings in there, blowed them out in Premiere Pro. But yeah, I'll go back to the part. It's around this area here that something falls off, and it looks like it's on a very thick string or rope.
Oh, that string hanging there, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
The other thing is, I don't know what the object is supposed to be. I can't tell if it's like a Alexa or if it's a lamp or some kind of decoration that's maybe plugged in, and that's why it's got a cord or a string attached to it. But
like a modem or a phone or something, maybe.
Yeah, one of those old-fashioned like Telstra TV phone modem things where it's like you can access Netflix, but it's Telstra, so it's $400 a month.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see ways that this would be faked, but I just don't understand the purpose of faking this. There's been no interviews with whoever uploaded this footage, so there's no necessarily any chance to get paid for an interview with a news station or monetize this video in any way. But what are your thoughts?
I mean, maybe they just wanted attention. I don't know. Maybe not just from people that they knew, just to say like we were on TV or our house was on TV. I don't know. There's a lot happening too. I don't know if stuff like that actually happens in real life with like, because that's like a lot of activity happening.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. In previous videos, it usually seems to be 1 to maybe at most 3 things, but over a stretched period of time. This is like within not 1 minute, like 30 seconds.
It's like an earthquake happening or something.
Honestly, you know what? I think you've solved it. I think that's what it could be. Because I know that it doesn't necessarily explain whatever this thing that flew out of the drawer is, if it comes back, but it does explain everything else, like flying off the shelves. The drawer could easily be opened by an earthquake. It could just like jitter in a jar, especially if it's an old house. Actually,
no,
but you know what?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything paranormal, like really paranormal going on, honestly.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm gonna say it's like 75% fake, 25% real, just to give a little benefit of the doubt, but
yeah, same. I'll say 75% fake.
Sorry, I laughed when I saw this one because you'll see what I mean. So in this next video, it's titled Mexican Doll, and it's based around this little girl and the dolls surrounding her that seem to exhibit paranormal activity around her. So I'll just press play. Bloody screenshot bullshit. Another YouTuber doing their thing. So you can see she's just playing with her doll, but keep your eye on the doll over here. It's a bit of a blink and you miss it type of thing, but the doll does appear to move.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Like its head leans towards like the left, kind of.
Yeah. And in this second part here, so you don't necessarily see the doll, but it's the same little girl, and the paper just starts moving out of nowhere. I mean, when I saw this, I thought, okay, it's a fan. Like, there's probably like a pedestal fan that's hidden behind the cupboard, just blew the paper. But the girl's reaction seems mostly genuine. Yeah.
But also, if that was a fan, I think that would have happened like prior to that as well. Like it would have blown straight as soon as she's had the fan on.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh. Like, I didn't see any shadows over here that could be indicating.
Did you see the curtain? The curtain moved as well, I think.
Oh shit, no.
Or did it not? Maybe it didn't.
It looks like it shook. Like it was going like
yeah.
But I could actually, let me replay that. I'm not sure if it's like the video quality that might give it that earthquake effect. That's strange.
I think it might be the video because the whole left side seems to do it.
I don't know if you've seen this video before. It's called The Roommate. And this one, it's not necessarily proof of paranormal per se, like ghosts or aliens or demons or anything like that. But to me, this is something a bit more scarier. So I'll just press play for you. So this person set up a camera to record what happens in his kitchen area when he leaves for work at a night time. It's a little bit long, so it might take a while to get into it.
Okay, yeah.
So some time has gone by, and there's someone that's crawled out of the vent.
What the hell?
Yeah, I forgot about that part. There's actually a really interesting story behind this video too. So this person had been hearing like noises, voices, snoring, coughing throughout his house, no matter what room he was in. And he decided to set up the camera. He thought it was someone breaking in whenever he would leave for work or whenever he was asleep. What he found was that this woman was living in his house in the vents.
Whoa.
I can't remember how long it was. It was either 9 months or 9 years. But she would come down, like help herself to some food, some like water, juice, use the bathroom in the kitchen sink, and then travel back up into the vents. This was actually the inspiration behind the Oscar-winning film Parasite. I don't know if you've seen Parasite.
I don't think so. Oh, I don't think so, no.
Oh, that is such a good movie. I don't watch like international movies that have subtitles. But that's because that's who I was back then. Now I'll watch anything with subtitles, even like English language shows. I'm one of those people that's like, my subtitles, I can't read without my subtitles. But
oh really? Yeah.
Like this, I don't know, if I set up a camera in this unit and I found out someone was living in the vents, I would burn that place down immediately. I'd just be like, fuck this. Keep your eye around this area in the corner of the pool. You'll see something walk towards that area, and I can't tell if it's supposed to be like a giant lizard or crocodile, alligator. I have no idea. Or like a giant rat, maybe.
Oh no! I didn't even realize there were people in there. Oh.
Like, to me, it looks like a crocodile, like a very skinny crocodile.
Really? It looks like a giant lizard to me. Some weird giant lizard.
It appears like in the corner just down there. So I'll just freeze frame it. It looks like something from Ice Age, that movie with like all the animals and everything. I could just see it like coming in from that movie, but
yeah.
Honestly, if I was in that pool and I saw something like that coming towards me, I would freak the fuck out.
Same. Yeah. I don't think I'd ever be able to go back into the pool.
No, me either.
No way.